question, "What proof do I have for what I believe?" is one of the most important questions a person can ask, because it forces us to examine the foundation of our thoughts instead of blindly accepting them. In simple terms, proof does not always mean absolute certainty like in mathematics. Rather, it refers to reliable evidence that supports a belief. In real life, most of our beliefs are not based on strict proof but on a mixture of experiences, emotions, social influence, and information from others. As a teacher, I would first help you understand that every belief you hold comes from somewhere. It may come from personal experience, what you have seen or gone through, authority, what parents, teachers, or leaders told you, emotions, what feels right, or actual evidence, data, research, and verified facts. The problem is that not all these sources are equally reliable. For example, personal experience can be misleading because it is limited. Just because something happened once does not mean it will always happen. Similarly, authority can be wrong, and emotions can easily distort reality. Therefore, asking for proof means identifying the type of support behind your belief and evaluating its strength. To understand proof better, we can think of it as existing at different levels. At the lowest level is blind belief, where you believe something simply because you want to or because you have always believed it. This is dangerous because it makes you vulnerable to misinformation and manipulation. The next level is anecdotal evidence, where you rely on a few personal examples. While this is slightly better, it is still weak because a small number of cases cannot represent the whole truth. A stronger level is authority-based evidence, where experts or knowledgeable people support a claim. But even this is not perfect because experts can make mistakes or have biases. Moving further, logical reasoning provides stronger support, as it involves thinking through cause and effect in a rational way. However, even logic can fail if the assumptions are wrong. The strongest level of proof in most real-world situations is scientific evidence, which is based on systematic observation, experimentation, repeated testing, and verification by multiple independent sources. As a critical thinker, your goal should be to move your beliefs as close as possible to this highest level. When you question your beliefs, there are three essential questions you should always ask yourself. What is the evidence? Is the evidence reliable? And could there be an alternative explanation? These questions help you avoid accepting information at face value. For instance, if someone says that a particular habit leads to success, you should ask whether this claim is supported by large-scale data or just a few success stories. You should also check the credibility of the source and consider whether other factors might explain the outcome. This process is important because the human brain is not naturally designed to seek truth. It is designed to seek comfort and consistency. One of the most common mental errors is confirmation bias, where you focus only on information that supports your existing belief and ignore anything that contradicts it. For example, if you believe that a certain method always works, you will remember the times it succeeded and forget the times it failed. Emotional reasoning is another trap, where you assume that something must be true simply because it feels true. Social influence also plays a powerful role, as people often believe something just because many others believe it. These mental shortcuts can easily lead you away from reality if you do not consciously question them. In everyday life, this question has practical importance. Whether you are reading news, watching social media, or making personal decisions, asking for proof can protect you from false information and poor choices. For example, before believing a viral post, you should check whether it comes from a credible source and whether it is supported by evidence. Similarly, when making decisions about your career or education, you should not rely only on opinions or trends but look for data and logical reasoning. Understanding the difference between weak and strong proof is also crucial. Weak proof includes things like hearsay, isolated examples, emotional appeals, and unverified claims, while strong proof involves consistent data, multiple sources, logical coherence, and scientific validation. The more your beliefs rely on strong proof, the more accurate and reliable they become. Ultimately, asking, "What proof do I have for what I believe?" is not just an intellectual exercise. It is a habit that can transform your thinking and your life. It makes you less likely to be misled, more capable of making sound decisions, and more independent in your thinking. Most people do not question their beliefs deeply, which is why they are easily influenced by others. But if you develop this habit, you will stand out as a rational and thoughtful individual. A useful daily practice is to take one belief you hold and examine it carefully. Identify the evidence supporting it, evaluate the strength of that evidence, and consider whether the belief needs to be revised. Over time, this practice will sharpen your critical thinking skills and bring you closer to the truth. The most important lesson to remember is that a belief without proof is merely an assumption, while a belief supported by strong evidence becomes knowledge. Therefore, do not accept something just because you think it or feel it. Accept it only if it can withstand questioning, testing, and verification.